In the West, people often tell me the Islamic Republic is better than the Shah because he was a dictator. Let's now listen to Abbas Milani, a former political prisoner under the Shah, a Marxist revolutionary in 1979, and now a historian and professor at Stanford. He is the one deconstructing the lies about the repression of that era using actual data.
Occurred in Iran, and I can invite you to talk directly to the people who at the time were arguing many points that today have had an evolution in thinking and assessment.
So I had gone back, radicalized, and I began teaching, as you said, but after about a year and a half, I was arrested and spent a year in prison under the Shah. At 6 months of it, I spent in the same cell block with the people who would become future leaders of the Islamic Republic. We used to say there are 100,000 political prisoners in Iran. The actual number was 3,500. We used to say tens of thousands of Iranians have been executed. Well, the actual number for the entire 37 year of the Shah was less than 1,500. You just couldn't directly call the Shah a lapdog of U.S. imperialism. Okay. And the opposition said, we can't say this so there is political oppression. But there was cultural pluralism in Iran at that time. There was religious pluralism. Mm-hmm. There was pluralism for women. Women's rights were unequaled in Iran compared to other countries. You could make almost any play. Iran had its Shiraz festival. They brought some of the most innovative, modernist, radical artists for several years. Mm-hmm. Nobody paid attention to those. Women could do anything they want. In 1975, there was a gay marriage in Tehran, a public gay marriage in Tehran.
Conclusion, it wasn't a perfect democracy, but the Shah imprisoned the very people who wanted to destroy progress and rights for the entire population and women. The facts show that Iran was racing towards the future before being dragged back into early middle age. So, before calling Reza Pahlavi a fascist, a sexist, a misogynist, an oppressor, an American puppet, and a bunch of other social flags that are being waved with no reason, with no actual content, and social labels whose strength we are aware of can basically demolish a person's reputation. In one sentence, before doing that, go look at the real history and the numbers, not a narrative told for mere convenience by the far left and communists. Sorry to say that. Good luck with your research. Hi everyone, I'm Paolo. I'm a normal Italian guy who started to study Persian a few years ago as a hobby after studying Turkish for a few years and Standard Arabic a little bit. But since January 2026, when the massacres in Iran happened, I started creating videos that we can call activism-like videos. The truth is that the majority of my friends, and especially my closest friends, are Iranians, and in January and February 2026, the massacres were a real personal grief, a personal loss for me. I was crying every day for a few weeks, and my friends were crying too, because they had no idea whether their mother, their father were alive, first of all, or were gonna be killed in the next days or weeks. That's why here and in other platforms, I try to amplify their voices, amplify the voice of the Iranian people. I try to do that in the most objective and impartial way, even though I'm aware that's not possible 100%. And when I say amplifying their voice, I mean the vast majority of Iranians I interact with, both in person, which is about 100 Iranians, and also online, which is in the thousands. You know, everyone has got their own political stances. You could be completely against the war or pro-war. You could hate Donald Trump and never trust the United States, or you may trust them. You may hate Netanyahu, the person, or you may hate Israel as an entire country, or you may think that Israel is a legitimate country. Besides these political debates, I would like to give voice to the Iranian people. So please, if you like my content and you believe it's well done and the sources are reliable, subscribe and send these videos to your friends. Yeah, well, that's it. Thank you for watching the video and see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.